Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue a topic Decolonization in Asia and Africa, Part 3, which is Chapter 8 of your Plus 2 ISC History book. In this module of the video, we will be discussing about Kenya, the conflict in Kenya and independence movement of Kenya. Before we start our topic, let us understand first the objectives of the topic. The objectives of the topic are to understand the conflict over independence and the role of Kenyatta, problems in Kenya, Kenyatta's rise to power, Kenyatta's tenure in 1963 to 1978, and foreign policy of Kenyatta. Let us first understand the new terms of the topic. The first new word is decolonization. It means the process or action of a state withdrawing from a former colony, leaving it independent. In short, when a strong country is leaving the weak country over which it was ruling, the process of leaving it is called as decolonization. The next word is racial discrimination. Racial discrimination is any discrimination against any individual on the basis of their skin color or racial or ethnic origin. In short, we can say when the white-skinned people exploit the black-colored people, the exploitation which is basis on the color of the skin is called as racial discrimination. The next term is Kenya African National Union. The Kenya African National Union is a Kenyan political party that ruled for nearly 40 years after Kenya's independence from British colonial rule in 1963 until its electoral loss in 2002. It was known as Kenya African Union from 1944 to 1952. The KAU, or the Kenya African Union, was banned by the colonial government from 1952 to 1960. The next term is Kenya African Democratic Union. The Kenya African Democratic Union was a political party in Kenya. It was founded in 1960 when several leading politicians refused to join Jomo Kenyatta's Kenya African National Union. So we can say it was an opposition party to KAU or Kenya African National Union. The next term is Mau Mau Rebellion. The Mau Mau Uprising, also known as the Mau Mau Kenya Emergency and the Mau Mau Revolt, was a war in the British Kenya colony between Kenya Land and Freedom Army, or between Mau Mau and the British authorities. So it was a struggle between the tribal people of Kenya called as the Mau Mau and the British authorities. Let us first understand the background of the topic, conflict over independence and the role of Kenyatta. After the end of Second World War in 1945, decolonization movement started in Africa. Students, we had already discussed in the new terms, decolonization means when a strong country finally decides to leave a weaker country over which it was ruling. African nationalism spread rapidly after 1945. A number of Asians and Africans had left their homelands to fight in the Allied armies, which consisted of England, France, and Russia. These people who have left their homelands from Asia and Africa, they saw the contrast between the primitive conditions or the old conditions of Africa and relatively the comfortable conditions they experienced as members of the armed forces in the Allied powers. This created a new feeling amongst them. On the other side, more and more Africans were being educated in Britain and the USA, where they felt the pinch of racial discrimination. In US and Great Britain, the Asian and Africans were experiencing the racial discrimination. That means they were being exploited on the basis of their skin color. They felt colonialism as humiliation and exploitation of blacks by the whites. Those Asian and Africans who have served in the Allied forces during the Second World War, they consider colonialism, that means being ruled by a strong country, as humiliation and the reason behind racial exploitation. There were outside pressures on the colonial powers to give up their empires. It means by the end of the Second World War, the Allied countries like England, France, and Russia were under pressure from the neutral countries in the beginning of the Second World War, like America, to free all the colonies which were controlled by them. So the government of Britain was willing to allow independence to Kenya and other states and believed that they would be able to exercise control over the new states through Commonwealth. Students, Commonwealth is an organization which consisted of those countries which were once ruled by Great Britain. This economic control through Commonwealth was also known as neocolonialism. Neocolonialism means controlling a country not directly or politically, but only controlling the market of a weaker country. Gradually, movements for independence became widespread in different parts of Africa. The movement was started in Kenya. You can see on your screen the map of Kenya. The main places which were under the control of the British government were Nairobi, then Marsabit. Here you can see Mombasa, Lamu. These were the main places which were under the control of the British government, where the Mau Mau rebellion was also there. Now let us discuss problems in Kenya. In 1962, a coalition government was formed with KANU, that means Kenya African National Union, and KADU, that means Kenya African Democratic Union. Students, by coalition government, we mean a government which is formed by more than one party. Elections were held in May 1963. KANU got majority in the Senate and the House of Representatives. Senate and the House of Representatives are the two houses of the legislature of Kenya. Kenya then got internal self-government with Jomo Kenyatta as its president. Students, by self-government, we mean Kenya got a dominion status from the British authorities. It means internally, to formulate its all internal policy, Kenya was free. But for external policies and defense and finance, it was still dependent on the British authorities. Let us discuss President Kenyatta's rise to power. Kenyatta was born at a village named Katundi in British East Africa, which is now in Kenya. His date of birth is not known. His father died while he was very young. As his father died when he was very young, so he became a resident pupil at the Church of Scotland Mission and studied the Bible, English, mathematics, and carpentry. In 1947, Kenyatta was elected President of Kenya African Union, or KAU. He then toured the country, lectured, condemning idleness, robbery, urging hard work, and campaigned for the return of land given to white settlers and independence within 3 years. So Kenyatta started the complete independence movement in Kenya. He wanted the land which the white has taken from the black should be returned to them. In the meantime, Mau Mau rebellion started and state of emergency was declared on 2 October 1952. He was arrested for associating with the organization of Mau Mau rebellion. The Mau Mau Rebellion Society was a radical anti-colonial movement engaged in rebellion against Kenya's British rulers. So basically, the Mau Mau were the tribal people who were against colonialism and foreign rule over Kenya. Kenyatta was arrested and he was in prison till 1959. Emergency was lifted in January 1960. There developed a strong public demand for his release from the jail. So, in August 1961, he was released from jail by the British authorities. The British authorities and the KANU, that is Kenya African National Union, agreed that Kenya would attain independence on 12th December 1963 as a Commonwealth member with Queen Elizabeth II as the head of the state. So on 12th December 1963, Kenya became an independent country. Though it was a member of British Commonwealth nations, it means that Queen Elizabeth II was the constitutional head of Kenya. Next year, in 1964, Kenya became a republic, and constitutional changes further centralized the government. That means the central government became more powerful as compared to the provincial governments in Kenya. As Jomo Kenyatta was the leader of the Kenya African Party or KAU, so Kenyatta automatically became the president of Kenya. His policy was that of continuity and gradual Africanization of the government. He believed that more and more Africans should be there in the central government. Kenya was a difficult area to deal with because there were huge numbers of white settlers who strongly opposed the black majority rule. They were not in a mood to negotiate with the African nationalist leader Jomo Kenyatta and his Kenya African Unity Party, that is KAU. Though Kenya became independent in 1963, yet problems were there before KAU and Jomo Kenyatta, as Kenya was a country where great number of white settlers were living, and they did not want the black people to rule over them. The white settlers were determined to prolong the white settlers' rule over Kenya. Though it was an independent country, yet the white colored people wanted to be in the Kenya government so that they could rule over Kenya. Thus, the white settlers started a policy of confrontation, which they thought would easily destroy the African Party. So they started a short period of civil war between the white settlers and the local black Kenyan people. The British government was in great pressure from both sides because the white settlers were backed by certain big business houses of Britain. The British authorities has declared the independence of Kenya, but the white settlers wanted to dominate the government of Kenya. So there was a huge pressure on the British authorities because the white settlers were supported by a great number of industrialists of England. KAU or Kenya African Union Party was able to make little progress because the British allowed only 6 Africans to join the Legislative Council of 54 members. The British government declared that in the Legislative Council, which consisted of 54 members, there would be only 6 African black members. In this situation, the impatient and agitated Kenyan people started terrorist attacks on the European-owned farms. People were not happy with this decision of the British government that there should be only 6 members in the Legislative Council, which consisted of total 54 members. So, the local Kenyan people started attacking on the European farms. This agitation was organized by the Mayo Mayo Secret Society, whose members were mainly from the Kikuyu tribe, who had been deprived of much of their best land by the white settlers. The protest movement was led by the Kikuyu tribe, and the movement was named as the Mayo Mayo Rebellion. The society was the Mayo Mayo Secret Society, and basically they wanted to get back their land from the white settlers. As the local Africans were against the white settlers, so elected by the National Assembly, Kenyatta became the head of the state, the head of the government, and head of the armed forces. A state of emergency was declared in 1952 by the British government in order to control the Mayo Mayo rebellion, and Kenyatta and other nationalist leaders were arrested. Kenyatta was imprisoned for 6 years, though he had publicly condemned terrorism. But as he was supporter of the Mayo Mayo rebellion, which had become a headache for the British government, so he was imprisoned and put behind the bars. The British authority commissioned huge forces to suppress the terrorists, and over the next 8 years, some 10,000 Africans were killed and number of people were in prison, no better than a concentration camp. So the local African people were crushed by the British authorities, and for the next 8 years, their conditions were same as the condition of Jews were there in the concentration camps of Germany. By 1960, the terrorists were defeated. The expense of anti-terrorist campaign and the change of wind brought a change in the minds of British people. They realized that Kenyatta was a moderate man and allowed him to be the Prime Minister of Kenya after independence in 1963. So finally, the British authorities were convinced that Jomo Kenyatta was the right leader for Kenya. After Kenya's independence in 1963, Kenyatta was declared as the Prime Minister of independent state of Kenya. Now let us discuss the time period of Jomo Kenyatta, which started from 1963 and lasted till 1978. In spite of the bad treatment by the British, Kenyatta allowed the whites to stay there, provided they took Kenyan citizenship. Though Jomo Kenyatta was imprisoned by the British authorities, but as he was a secular man, so after becoming the leader of Kenya, he allowed the white settlers to remain in Kenya, but on the condition that they have to take the Kenyan citizenship. On the other hand, the British government brought out the white settlers who were not willing to stay there and mostly left Kenya. The white people who did not want to stay in Kenya were asked by the British government to leave the country. As a result, most of the white settlers left Kenya. The Indian minorities dominated retail business in the cities and most towns, but they were deeply distrusted by the Africans. In Kenya, there were some Indians also who were not in great numbers, so they were less in number, and this is the reason they were in minority group. They mainly ruled the retail business, the textile industry of Kenya, but they were not trusted by the local Kenyan people. As a result, a huge number of Indians kept their old British passports. A large number left Kenya and moved to Britain, and these Indians ultimately settled in Great Britain. Now let us discuss the foreign policy of Kenyatta as the Prime Minister of independent Kenya. Independent Kenya, although officially non-aligned, adopted a pro-Western stance. Students, by non-aligned, we mean not to align or not to stay with any of the group. After the Second World War, the world was divided into two powerful blocs. One was led by America and second was led by Soviet Union or Russia. Non-aligned was a policy of newly independent Asian and African countries who stated that they would not be a part of American or Russian groups so that they grow independently. Officially, Kenya was a non-aligned country who was not in any of the group, be it the American group or the Soviet or the Russian group. But actually, it was in favor of the American group. It got American help for its development. Kenya worked unsuccessfully for East African Union. Students, the East African Union was a proposal to unite Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, which did not get approval from Tanzania and Uganda. It was a proposal of Jomo Kenyatta that Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya should join together and form East African Union. However, the three nations formed a loose East African community in 1967. So that means Jomo Kenyatta was not successful for his proposal of East African Union, but he was successful to unite the three countries in form of East African communities in 1967. And ultimately, the East African communities, which was formed in 1967, was ended or dissolved in 1984. Students, on your screen, you can see the map of East African communities, which consisted the countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, South Sudan, Rwanda, and a small country called Burundi. Now let us discuss the changes which came in the policies in Jomo Kenyatta in the later phase of his time period as the Prime Minister of Kenya. Once in power, Kenyatta gradually changed from radical nationalist to a conservative bourgeois politician. As a freedom fighter, Jomo Kenyatta was a radical who wanted changes in the society of Kenya. He was in favor of uniting Kenya with Tanzania and Uganda, but later, as the Prime Minister of independent Kenya, he developed into a conservative politician, a politician who was not ready to change with the changing condition of the world. He became in favor of the bourgeois class. Students, by bourgeois, we mean to say the middle class. He often neglected the interest of the working class and only favored the intellectual or the middle class people. In 1969 elections, Kenyatta banned all other political parties. So in 1969, he became a dictator when he declared that all other political parties except his own party, that was KAU, was banned in Kenya. So for all intents and purpose, that means in every practical sense, Kenya became a one-party state. There was only and only the rule of KAU, that means Kenya African Union, and it was having one leader only, which was Jomo Kenyatta. In 1970, he again became the president for a further term. Agitation also started because the plantations formerly owned by the white settlers were broken up and given to the farmers of a particular tribe. Students, we had already discussed in the earlier part of this video that the Mau Mau rebellion was started against the British authorities because white settlers has taken the land from the black people and the Mau Mau community wanted to get the land back. When Kenya got independent, the land was handed over to the Kenyan government. Now the problem was this, that the land was returned to only a particular tribe which was loyal to the Jomo Kenyatta government. So other people started to protest this wrong redistribution of land from the white settlers to only a particular tribe of people. Social tension also increased due to rapid population growth, high unemployment rate, and disorders in the cities. As a result of this, even the black people became unsatisfied with the rule of Jomo Kenyatta. So Jomo Kenyatta, in the beginning of his career as a politician, was very famous, but later on as the Prime Minister, because of his wrong policies, his popularity got down in the country. So after his death on 22nd August 1978, Daniel Moi became the new leader of the country. Students, these are the topics we have covered in this module. In the beginning, we have discussed conflict over independence and the role of Kenyatta. That how the black people were exploited by the British government. They were facing the racial discrimination and they decided that they would free their country from the British control. And Jomo Kenyatta became their leader in the freedom movement. And we have also discussed the problems in Kenya. We have discussed the racial discrimination was going on in Kenya by the British authorities. Then the white settlers have taken land from the black people. And Mau Mau rebellion was there, which was started by Kikuyu tribe in Kenya. We had also discussed that Jomo Kenyatta was imprisoned for 6 years because he favored the Mau Mau rebellion. The local people supported Jomo Kenyatta and the freedom movement was on its peak in Kenya in 1963. In 1963, Kenya got independence from the British authorities. We had also discussed that Jomo Kenyatta became the first president of independent Kenya in 1963 and he remained on his post till 1978. During his tenure, his policies underwent many changes. For example, in the beginning, he was a man of secular character and he favored radical changes in the society of Kenya. But later on, he became a person who used to favor only the middle class. He overlooked the development of the labor class, and that became his cause of decline in Kenya. He redistributed the land from the white settlers to the black people to only those tribes who were loyal to the Jomo Kenyatta government. He formed EAC or East African Community in 1967, joining Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. And at the last we have discussed that after his death, the Vice President of Kenya, Daniel Moi, became the new leader of the country. Students, these are the questions we have discussed in this module. We have discussed why did the British government get ready for independence of Kenya? What is meant by the term neocolonialism? Name the first president of independent Kenya. When was the Mau Mau rebellion started? And what was the reason of Mau rebellion? If you want to explore more on this topic, you can join the link which you can see on your screen. With the help of this explanation and internet, you are advised to make the notes of this topic. We'll meet you in next session. Till then, have a nice day.